Hi everyone, it's Sue. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well. Today we're not doing bookwork, but I do have some receipts that I was going to throw out, and I happened upon this lady here. Now, Naseen, let me just plug my phone in because otherwise you guys will go flat. Naseen, and I'm not even going to attempt to announce her surname because I'm sure I will butcher it. Now, she is on Pinterest if you want to search for her. She does some beautiful things. I've tried to see if I can find her on YouTube, but to no avail. So this is inspired by Naseen, and I'm sorry if I have pronounced that wrong as well. But basically this is just nothing new. Once again, it's basically just collage, but using up your junk. Now, this would normally just go in the bin, and as you can see, I had actually started to crumple this and put it in the bin when I was when I came across Naseen's short video on Pinterest. So what she's done is she's just making snippets using cash register receipts, which is what these are, and the paper is quite firm. I mean, it's not heavy, but it's quite firm. So I'm just going to stick collage over the top of all of these. Some have got printing on the back, but it doesn't matter. This one's Bunnings is the only one. The idea, I guess, is to just another way to collage rather than have like a long snippet on a roll or something like that. And I'm just going to be using paper. Maybe I might add a little bit of fiber here and there. And just once you've done a snippet, you can just cut it off and add it to a pocket or the corner of a page. You could cut that and make that into a tag. I just liked the idea of using up our trash so it doesn't go into landfill. And also just smaller. I love the snippet rolls. I absolutely adore them. But to me, it doesn't make sense to have them on a roll because I would never use them. This way I can put these in a basket beside my desk or a drawer beside my desk, and then I can just grab them and cut them up as I need them. So that's all I'm going to be doing today, is just collaging. I've been doing a fair bit of collaging lately in my videos, haven't I? So I hope that's okay, but just another idea just to use up your trash. So in my cleanup as well, I found all these pouches of printables. Some of them I don't know who they belong to, some of them I've got names on them, and I just thought I'm going to put a base of neutral colors on the bottom, on the top of the tag, and then I'm going to decorate using some bits and pieces out of these pouches. I've got so many of them, and I just need to use them, so that's what I'm going to be using today. So we'll go through those. So I hope you can create along with me. If you've got any old receipts, you don't even have to have receipts, honestly. If you've got snippets of paper that you can collage over, grab them, grab your bits and pieces, and let's do a little bit of snippet making. All right, I'm going to speed the video up, and I'm just going to have fun and see where I go with these. See you soon. Okay, so I have finished collaging those. They took longer than I thought, but they were fun. Nice and relaxing way to spend a little bit of time in your craft room. So big difference from an ugly receipt. Now you've got a base. I mean, you could just leave it at that, and then when you're ready to use them, you could then decorate them. But I'm going to, so Nasine, she didn't actually show a process video. I'm just adding a bit of glue because there were offcuts in my stash of something else that I had collaged. So it's quite, that piece here is quite stiff, and this piece here compared to some of the other papers on here, so that just hadn't glued down properly. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is add a little bit of gesso and use my brayer. Please excuse my brayer, it's disgusting. And it's textural, and some of the color may come off, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to add a little bit to this acrylic block, and I'm just going to add brayer a little bit of gesso on top of here, and then I'm going to go this piece here. I had obviously joined two pieces of paper together at one stage with a sewing machine, so that's inspired me just to go and add some random bits of sewing. Now I'm going to do it, as I said, very randomly, and I may even find that I may stick things over top of it, but that's okay. And then I'll probably even go back in again at a later date and add a bit more stitching. So let's just get a little bit of gesso on this acrylic block, if I can get this open. Yeah. And my poor gesso doesn't get looked after very well, so I'm just going to actually rub the lid, the seal over that block there. And I'm going to, because I don't want it really thick. Now I'm going to make a huge mess here, and you're probably all cringing, but I just want a little bit of something. So it's very subtle. It's not much to it at all. We'll let that dry, and then we can come back and add more if we want to. Okay. Just sort of takes, you know, some of these colors are quite dark compared to the others, so it just takes that down a little bit. So that's all I want to do, is just add that little bit. So I'm going to clean up my mess here. Okay, so because that was only very finely put on there, that is already dry. So now I'm just going to take these to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to add some little bits of stitching really randomly throughout. Now here you can still see some of the receipt. I didn't worry about that because I can make sure that I actually put something over top of that, like an image or some lace, that sort of thing. So you can leave little bits showing on your strips as well. So I'm just going to take these to the sewing machine and do some random stitching. As I said, absolutely no rhyme nor reason to my stitching. I have just done, as you can see, some random stitching here and there. Now I'm going to leave the bits hanging off the end here. I'm just trimming them down just a fraction. So I've already started doing that. I'll trim off I don't know, these are the scissors that I dropped, and they're out of balance, so I need to put them to the side and use another pair. So yes, as you can see, I'm just going to leave these edge bits hanging. The bits on the tags or on the snippets I will trim off. I'm just thinking of just another layer of interest on these snippets, that's all. The backs we don't really have to worry about snipping. I'm just going to get the extra long bits off the back, just so that they don't get caught up in everything. So I'll just quickly do all that and get rid of the mess. Okay, there we go. So we've got a little bit of gesso, a little bit of stitching, and now we're going to add some color and some interest. As I said, I'm going to be using these pouches of bits and pieces that I don't even know what's in here. So long ago that I started trying to store my printables like this, and then it got beyond, well, it got out of control basically, because I'm addicted to printables. So I had to come up with a different different way of storing my printables. So I've printed obviously some of these onto vellum by the looks of it. So I might cut, like that stamp might come in handy. I'll just really roughly cut out some bits and pieces to use on here. So this one is Pink Monarch Prints. That was Artie May's. So just if there's anything you like, just probably can have a look and see, you know, pick out from the label who they belong to. So I am just going to go through and I'm going to choose some little bits and pieces and then start sticking them down and see what comes of these receipt snippets. Okay guys, I've only done 2 and they're not completely finished. You could fiddle around for hours with these and make them how you want. So I've just done fairly basic, and then I can cut them, you know, like I could use that as a tag if I wanted to, tag base. I could use that as a snippet, you know, it's just as limited as your imagination. I'll probably add more lace, a bit more texture. Something else could probably go here, but as I said, it's all just a matter of playing. But what fun. And that's just from a receipt that was going to go into the bin. This one I've done a little bit more masculine looking, I guess, and once again very basic. So depending on where I want to cut them, and then I will decorate them more once they go into my journal. So I'm going to head off and I'm going to play with these 2 as well. This kit ended up being amazing for this. I don't know what it's called, but it is a Tracy Fox and an Artie Mays collab. So if you want to check on their sites and have a look for that. But it's got some amazing botanicals, nature, postage. Yeah, great. So I pretty much used the majority of that kit to do these 2. So just a little bit of fun. I hope you look at your receipts a little bit differently now. I certainly will be. And the beauty of these is that they're cut to size pretty much. I can just stick them in my drawer or in my basket here beside me and grab them as I need them and use them in my journals. So I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, I hope you get to have a little bit of a play. All right, I'll leave it with you, and until next time, I hope you get a little bit of creative time in. See you soon. Bye-bye.